Most unlikely of villains, schools of blame and more pause. Wears a top, doesn't know how, doesn't bottle, does get me out. Let on the cerebral bore, has a show so much more. The legal brains at the
Welcome back to Cerebrivore. I'm your host, Jason. Today is a bonus episode, and on the bonus episodes, we've been reading from James M. Ward's Conan the Undaunted. This is an endless quest book published by TSR in 1984. Basically, it's a book where you read the story up to a certain point, then you have a decision to make. It gives you a number of choices. You pick one of those choices and go to the next point in the book. So what I've been doing is reading the story, and when we hit a decision point, I've let the listeners call in and vote on what path Conan should take. Now, there are a number of ways you can get your vote in. You don't even have to call. You could send an email. All those are listed in the show notes. So check that out, and I urge you to please participate. It's been a lot of fun, and I really enjoy getting entries. So far in the story, we've joined a young Conan with his friend Keelta, and they've taken a death oath from a dying knight to deliver a scroll to the king of a city. And they've also met up with a young maiden named Shilta. Now they're trying to avoid these march riders. And so that right now they're trying to, at the end of the last story point, they came across two march rider wardens who were watching the road. And they had to decide whether they were going to attack these march riders or sneak around them. So let's see what our listeners decided to do.
Hey Jason, Daniel from Bandits Keep calling in about Conan. So this one's interesting because, of course, Conan can be hot-headed and he does love to fight and show his prowess. However, he's also a strategist and smart as to how he fights and when he fights. So I would choose to sneak around the guards, hoping that they don't realize they've left the area and thus won't be followed. So sneaking around is my choice.
Okay, thank you, Daniel. Next up, we have Joe from the Hindsightless podcast.
Hey, Jason, I'm calling in my vote for the Conan Undaunted because that YouTube episode dropped a few days ago, and I'm kind of too lazy to scroll back through my YouTube catalog to find it. So here we go, man. I'm going to get a little meta and think about when this book was written, who wrote it, and what was going on at the time. Since this is a TSR book from the 80s, and the idea of fighting everything wasn't the thing back then, right? Like, that's the whole idea. You're not supposed to fight everything. I'm going to vote that we don't fight the horsemen and that we, I think the choice was to climb the walls. You know, but even besides the meta, they're on horseback, which is a huge advantage. Now, granted, Conan and his buddy do have spears, and I'm not sure what the horsemen are armed with, but just being on horseback is such a massive advantage that I think Conan would be smart enough to at least get up above them. You know, we can climb up, and even if we don't escape them, we can huck our spears down at them from above, giving us the advantage, putting us out of their reach. So yeah, I vote we do not fight the horsemen straight on, and that I think the choice is to climb the wall. Anyway, man, these have been super fun. I'm glad people are chiming in other than me. It's awesome. Keep it up, and I'm excited to see where the story goes. Peace out.
Okay, by unanimous vote, we are going to sneak around. Let's get into it. In less than an hour, you make your way out of the Black City of Wizards and into the surrounding hills. Just being away from that accursed city makes you feel better. Keelta's good spirits return, and Shalandar seems happier as well. Before starting out, you look down the hill to the paths you can take. There is a stone road going from the valley that cuts through the trees. This is the first place the march riders would head if they were still looking for you. No, the road isn't what you want. You start down through the rocks. Shalandar and Keelta follow. Conan, Shalandar asks after a few minutes of walking. "This isn't the quickest way to my city. Why are we going into the forest instead of along the king's road?" Keelta answers for you, knowing what you would say. "The March Riders also know of the road. They may be following us, and we want to be hard for them to find." "Oh," she says, and falls silent. The walk in the forest is pleasant. The morning is bright, and you pass through the grove of apple trees, taking your fill of tasty fruit. Morning turns into noon, and there's no sign of the March Riders. "We'll be in the city soon," Shalandar tells you. "I'm sure the king will reward you for bringing me back. I know I will be grateful forever." Her words are cheering, but you remain silent. Soon you reach a hilltop and see the city of Galparan spread out before you. "Crom!" you whisper in awe. "It's big, Conan," exclaims Keelta. "I've heard stories of such walled cities, but I never thought I'd see one. Nothing can stop us now, my friend." "That's right," agrees Shalandar. "We will get to the king, and you will show him the scroll, and I will tell him how you saved me, and everything will be grand." You pretend to respond to their enthusiasm, but you feel just as tense as before. You know that people don't build walls around cities where people are permitted to come and go easily, and there is no danger. Your struggle to keep your promise to the dying knight is far from over. It is late afternoon by the time you three get to the gate. 2 guards at the gate look up as you reach it. You and Keelta see the rough appearance of the men, and push Shalandar behind you. You walk boldly up to the half-open gate, and the men firmly shut it in your face, with them standing on your side. "We wish entrance into the city of Galparan," Keelta demands. The guards look you up and down, sneering at your appearance. One guard opens the gate just wide enough for one person to squeeze through. "The girl can come in," the biggest guard says, "but you two must stay out. The king wants no barbarians within the walls of the city at night." Angered, you pull your spear from the sling on your back. Shalandar grabs your arms. "We don't need to fight here. Let me handle this, would you please?" You aren't sure what to do. You know you don't like the way the guards are looking at the girl. You also know they wouldn't be hard to get rid of, but doing something to the king's guards could be a bad idea. So, dear listeners, your options are: you can let the girl try to get you past the guards. You can fight the guards and ignore the girl. You can leave the guards and go around the city to climb a wall after sunset. So call in and let me know, and in 2 weeks, I'll let everybody know what the decision was and read the next passage. This episode, of course, is coming out 2 June 2023, and I need your votes no later than 14 June 2023, which is Flag Day in the United States. Thank you for listening. Thank you to everybody that voted. And until next time, be excellent to each other.
A Nerd Central broadcast, Cerebral podcast. Let's savor all the flavors from the Simon Hemstraw. The All-Stars and Pods past, Cerebral podcast. You're counting down your last as you admire them all. The sound is growing teeth, or soon escaping your brain. Baby, what I mean is this exchange of which, and from what I understand, don't look now, the Super Bowl is coming, and all that's left is the crying and the running. We can put you can hide out in the bomb in any order. Just another ring of real tossers running for the point. Just a snap like a one. Did I stutter? Here and here. I'm expected buzz. You can eat on a baby, and his monsters never say it. It's savory in the flavor of the music creator.